When I first picked up the VEVOR Voltage Converter 5000 VA, the spec sheet certainly grabbed my attention. A rugged metal case, heavy-duty design, and a rating that suggests it can convert and handle up to 5,000 watts of power. For anyone who deals with international equipment, RVs, or heavy tools, a unit that can genuinely handle that much load sounds incredibly useful. But specs and real performance don't always tell the same story, so I wanted to test this one thoroughly before calling it a solid choice. Right out of the box, the build quality feels robust. It has a solid, utilitarian look with cooling fans, heavy power sockets, and a physical voltmeter display. Plugging it in is straightforward. You just connect your input power source, set the output you need, and make sure the load you plan to draw is within the stated limits. So far, so good. It feels like a serious piece of kit, not a cheap gadget. To really test whether it can handle 5,000 watts, I put it through several scenarios. I started with small loads, lights, chargers, and laptops, and it handled them with ease. The display stayed stable and there was no noticeable heat buildup. That's expected and reassuring, but small loads don't push its limits. Next, I moved up to heavier appliances like a microwave, a small air compressor, and larger power tools that draw more current. With loads creeping into the mid-range, the unit still performed without shutting down or overheating, which is a good sign. The fans kicked in to keep things cool, and the meter readings stayed consistent. However, when I really pushed toward the upper end, appliances that bring the total close to 5,000 watts, things got interesting. While the converter didn't immediately fail, I noticed more significant heat coming from the unit, louder fan noise, and occasional flicker in the display. It didn't shut off, but it didn't feel like it was operating with the same calm, stable confidence as it did under lighter loads. That suggests you can probably approach that 5,000 watt mark, but you need to be cautious and understand that the unit is working hard to sustain it. Another important point is efficiency and consistency. Under heavy load, the voltage readings fluctuated more noticeably than I expected, which could affect sensitive electronics if you're powering computers or precision tools. For rugged tools that don't mind a bit of variance, that's fine, but for electronics that need clean, stable power, this is something to consider. So, can the VEVOR Voltage Converter 5000 VA really handle 5,000 watts? In my testing, it can come close and work under heavy load, but it's not something I would push to the absolute limit continuously. You're safer keeping loads moderately below the maximum rating to ensure stable, cool performance and longevity. In terms of value, it's a legitimate and heavy-duty piece of equipment that generally performs as advertised, especially for mid-range power needs. It's not overhyped fluff. You get real power conversion capability. Just don't treat the 5,000 watt rating as a guaranteed output ceiling. It's more of a maximum peak capability than a daily workhorse limit.